The Ionian Mission by Patrick O'Brien. Read by Robert Hardy. Dr. Maturin had pursued his strikingly beautiful, spirited, fashionable wife for years before marrying her. For so many years, indeed, that he had become too old a dog to give up his tricks of smoking tobacco in bed, playing his cello at untimely moments, dissecting anything that interested him, even in the drawing-room. Too old to be taught to shave regularly or to change his linen when he did not feel the need. An impossible husband. He was not house-trained, and he soon perceived that in time the strain must damage their relationship, all the more so since Diana was as intransigent as himself. And then again his deeply ingrained habits of secrecy, for he was an intelligence agent as well as a physician, made him even more unsuited for domestic life, which withers in the presence of reserve. He therefore gradually retired to the rooms he'd long retained in a comfortable inn called the Grapes, in the liberties of the Savoy, leaving Diana in the handsome house in Half Moon Street. It was in no way a parting. There was no ill will or disagreement about Stephen Maturin's fading away from the intense social life of Half Moon Street to the dim, foggy lane by the Thames, where he could more easily attend the meetings of the Royal Society, the College of Surgeons, and where he could more safely carry out some of the delicate business that fell to his lot as a member of the Naval Intelligence Department. It was a mere geographical separation. He nearly always appeared at her frequent dinner parties, and Diana was always delighted to see her husband. They never quarrelled now, and this was probably the best possible arrangement for a pair with nothing in common but love and friendship, and a series of shared adventures. The doctor was going to sea again with his friend Jack Aubrey, a post-captain in the Royal Navy, once known as Lucky Jack Aubrey for his good fortune in taking prizes, but now so miserably involved in his affairs that he was glad to accept an unenviable temporary command, the Worcester, of 74 guns, one of the surviving 40 Thieves, that notorious set of line of battleships, built with a dishonesty that excited comment even in a time of widespread corruption. She was to carry him to the Mediterranean and the interminable blockade of the French fleet in Toulon. And since Stephen was to go to sea, his best white neckcloth was first to be put on for Diana's farewell dinner. "Oh, fie, Stephen," said Diana, tweaking this straight. "How can you be so intolerably late? Yagiello has been slavering in the drawing-room this last age, and the others will be here any minute. And I have brought you such a beautiful present. Come upstairs and look at it. Yagiello can receive any early worms." And as she passed the drawing-room, she called in, "Yagiello, pray do the civil for us if anyone should come. We shall not be a minute." Yagiello was almost domesticated at Half Moon Street, an absurdly beautiful, exceedingly wealthy young Lithuanian, now attached to the Swedish embassy. He and Stephen and Jack Aubrey had been imprisoned in France and had escaped together. "There," Diana said, pointing to a gold-mounted dressing-case that was also a canteen and a backgammon board. Little drawers pulled in and out, ingenious slides and folding legs transformed it into a wash-hand-stand, a writing-desk, a lectern, and looking-glasses and candle-holders appeared on either side. "Akushla," he said, drawing her close. "This is regal splendor. I'm so grateful, my dear." And infinitely touched he was by her generosity, her improvidence. Rich though she was, this was far more than even she could afford, and by her ignorance of naval life, of the damp, cramped cupboard that a surgeon lived in at sea. This precious piece of misguided craftsmanship would have to be wrapped in waxed canvas and struck down into the driest part of the hold. "Dear Stephen, I shall miss you so. And it seems a damned odd voyage to me. Surely it was understood that Jack was to have the Blackwater and take her to the North American station." Diana was well informed about Captain Aubrey's affairs, he being married to her cousin Sophie, but not as well informed as Stephen. Besides, Stephen had business to deal with in Barcelona, and a rendezvous with French royalists heartily sick of Bonaparte. Stephen did not see fit to explain this, and now said,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?